My dear P6 learners, welcome to lesson 5 of this episode, Online Teaching. My name is Mr. Mugisha Emmanuel. In our previous lesson, I taught you how to increase given quantities in ratios. And I emphasized this point that when we are increasing the ratios, make sure the result is bigger than the original number. And at the end of the lesson, I gave you an activity of 5 numbers, which I hope you did so well. So before I go into these lessons, allow me to go through a few questions, A up to C. I gave you 5 questions, but I'm just going to sample these ones, from A up to B. So the first question was, increase 12,000 shillings in the ratio of 3 to 2. We are increasing 12,000 shillings in the ratio of 3 to 2. So what did I tell you? I told you that when you are increasing, make sure the bigger figure forms the numerator of our fraction. And for that case, the bigger figure there is 3. So we shall get 3 out of the smaller figure, which is 2, then we multiply by the quantity given, and the quantity for this case is 12,000 shillings. Okay? 3 out of 2, a fraction which is formed from 3 to 2. Why not 2? Why not 2 out of 3? Because we are increasing. The bigger number should be our numerator. So when we reduce this, what do we get? We reduce by 2 once. 12 divided by 2, we are getting 6. Then the zeros divided by 2, we are getting the zeros. Therefore, we shall have 3 times 6,000. So when we multiply 3 times 6, we are getting 18. Then plus how many zeros? Our 3 zeros. So you will find that our answer is now 18,000 shillings. How do you know that you have really increased? It was originally 12,000, I have now 18,000. You see the way it has increased? Yes. So part B, we are increasing 18 mangoes in the ratio of 7 to 6. Form our fraction. Which one is going to be our fraction? Beginning with the bigger figure. The bigger figure in this case is 7. Out of the smaller figure, which is 6. Multiplied by the quantity given, which is 18 mangoes. 18 mangoes. Go ahead and reduce. Divide by 6 is 1. 18 divided by 6, we are getting 3. So 7 times 3 mangoes. And what do we get? Table 7. 7 times 3, what do we get? Somebody is telling me 21, which is correct. So we get 21 mangoes. Check. Has your number increased? Yes, from 18 to 21. There we have increased. And lastly, so we are going to our next number. We are increasing 20 pence in the ratio of 11 to 10. So our fraction is going to be 11 out of 10. Then you multiply by the quantity given, which is 20 pence. Yes. So if you have zeros, you know what to do. You first reduce the zeros. This 0 will go with that. So it means I have 11 out of 1, which is the same as 11, which I'm going to multiply by 2. And these are pence. So 11 times 2, what do we get? We are getting our 22 pence. Has our number increased? Yes, from 20 to 22. So that's what basically we looked at in our previous lesson. In our lesson today, we are going to do the opposite of what we did in our previous lesson. If we are increasing, we are now going to decrease. And for you who can really think beyond the teacher, I think you now know what to do in this. If you have been told to decrease quantities in the ratios, what do you do? It is very simple. We are just going to make a reverse of that one. Therefore, let's have example 1. We are decrease 2,400 in the ratio of 6 to 10. We are increasing 2,400 in the ratio of 6 to 10. So if the other time we are making numbers bigger, by making sure that the numerator is bigger than the denominator, what do you think we are going to do here? We are going to make the reverse. This time we are decreasing, we are making our numbers smaller, so we shall say, to get the smaller number, the smaller ratio, you divide it by the bigger ratio, then you multiply by the given amount or what I can call the quantity. Okay? So, what is our smaller ratio here? 6 and 10. Which one is smaller? You will find that the smaller ratio here is 6. Out of the bigger number or bigger ratio, which is what? 10. Then you multiply by the given quantity, and the given quantity is 2,400. Then we reduce. This 0 will go with this one. I will remain with 6 out of 1, which is the same as 6, which I'm going to multiply by 240. When we are multiplying larger numbers, you know what to do. Vertical multiplication is the best method to use. So we shall have side work here, whereby we are going to multiply 240 10 times 6. Okay? Then we go. 6 times 0, what do we get? Any number times 0, what do we get? We get a 0. 6 times 4, what do we get? 24. What do we write? We write a 4, then we take a 2. 6 times 2, what do we get? 12. 12 plus this 2, we get 14. So we shall have our answer as 1,440. 1,440 as our answer. Now, before I go to the next number, if you are very keen, you will realize that my number has been reduced. It was 2,400, it is now 1,400. You see how it has reduced? Yes. Let's look at example 2. We have very many words which we can use to mean decrease. Words like reduce. So somebody can tell you to reduce. What are we reducing? We are reducing 20,000 shillings in the ratio of 3 to 5. We are reducing 20,000 shillings in the ratio of 3 to 5. So since we are reducing, how is our fraction going to be look like? The numerator should be smaller than the denominator. So, if we have 3 to 5, the numerator will be the smaller ratio out of the bigger ratio, then times the given amount, or what we can call the given quantity. So by substitution, 3 and 5, which one is bigger? 5 is bigger. And since we are reducing, we shall have 3 out of the bigger ratio, which is 5. Then we multiply by how much money? 20,000 shillings. Okay? So what is next? We are just going to reduce. Divide by 5, we are getting 1. 20 divided by 5, what do we get? A 4. Then these zeros divided by 5, we are getting zeros. Therefore, 3 times 4,000, which is the result from this. What do we get? We can arrange vertically and multiply to avoid failing this simple number. So we shall have 4,000, which we are going to multiply by 3. Okay? 3 times 0, we get a 0. 3 times 0, we get a 0. 3 times 0, we get a 0. 3 times 4, what do we get? Table 3. It means you are going to add 4 3 times, or you add 3 4 times. So when you add 4 3 times, what do you get? You are going to get 12. So what are we getting here? We are getting 12,000 shillings. Do you realize that our amount of money has reduced from 20,000 shillings now to 12,000 shillings? Yes. That's what we mean by reducing. Then we have another example. Okay? Let's have another example. Because I don't want you to say I do not understand. Let me give you another example. So we can say this will be application whereby you can say the number of pupils in Kajans Primary School reduced from 900 pupils in the ratio of 4 to 5. How many pupils are in the school now? Okay? Oh, someone is saying, teacher, you have brought very many words. We are going to get confused. No way. These are just words. That's what makes mathematics so interesting. That you can have very, very many words, but you don't need to fear them. Just read, interpret, then you will find it very easy. So it goes, the number of pupils at Kajans Primary School reduced from 900 pupils in the ratio of 4 to 5. And the question is, how many pupils are in the school now? Very simple question. Very simple question. What is important is you to know that the number reduced. And the number reduced in which ratio? It reduced in the ratio of 4 to 5. So this one is as simple as telling you to reduce 900 pupils in the ratio of 4 to 5. So if you have been following my examples, then this one becomes also very easy. The school has had 900 pupils. And it is now, the number of pupils is reducing in that ratio. So how do we reduce this one in that ratio? So we are saying, we get the smaller ratio, out of the bigger ratio, then we multiply it by the quantity. Okay? So in this case, the smaller ratio is going to be 4. The bigger ratio, which is 5. Then we multiply by the quantity, 900 pupils. 900 pupils. 900 pupils. Reduce. Okay? Can 900 be reduced by 5 without getting a remainder? Yes. How do you know that a number is exactly divisible by 5? If the last digit is 5 or 0, which we have here. So it means we can reduce. 5 divided by 5, we are getting 1. What about 9 divided by 5? If you have 9 mangoes and you have been told to share them among the 5 children, how many will each get? Each child is going to get 1 mango. But with one mango, there are some mangoes which have remained, and I want each one to get. How many mangoes have remained? You will realize that you have remained with the 4 mangoes which are pending. So the 4 is supposed to be put here to make it now 40. 40 divided by 5, what do we get? We are getting 8. Do we remain with anything? No. But you have this 0. 0 divided by 5, what do we get? We get a 0. So for this case, we have 4 times 180 pupils. Okay? I have already told you that when you are multiplying larger numbers, what do? Arrange vertically to avoid failing such simple numbers. So we are going to have our side work here, which is 180 multiplied by 4. 4 times 0, what do we get? A 0. Remember, any number times 0 we get 0. 4 times 8, what do we get? We get a 32. So what do we write here? We write a 2, then we regroup with a 3. 4 times 1, what do we get? A 4. Then plus this 3, which is 7. So for that matter, we are getting 720 pupils. Now, is it true that the number reduced? Yes. School had 900 pupils. The number reduced in this ratio, we currently have 720 pupils, which is a reduction. In number. Okay. Having taken you through 3 examples, do you think these examples are enough for you to answer the activity which I'm going to give you? Oh, majority are saying yes. But allow me to give you one more last example. Then I will give you an activity. So, example number 4. Example number 4. Reduce. And what are we reducing? 780 kilograms in the ratio of 2 to 3. Okay? Reduce 780 kilograms in the ratio of 2 to 3. So, how do we reduce? Since we are reducing, we shall get smaller figure, which is 2, out of bigger figure, which is 3, then times 780 kilograms. 780 kilograms. If you don't know how to reduce the way you have been cancelling, then you are free to use log division, which I may use here. 780, and we are dividing it by 3. So 7 divided by 3, what do we get? We get a 2. 2 times 3, what do we get? 6. When you subtract, what do you get? 1. Then you pull down the 8 to make it 18. 18 divided by 3, what do we get? We are getting a 6. 6 times 3, what do we get? 18. When we subtract, what do we get? We get 0, 0. What else do I have to divide? This is 0. Bring it here. So 0 divided by 3, what do we get? A 0. 0 times 3, we are getting a 0. When we subtract, we get 0, 0. Okay? So after getting that one, it means I have fully divided my number. Then I come and I cancel. Divide by 3, 1. Divide by 3, I have got 260. Therefore, we shall have 2 times 260, and these are kilograms. And what are we getting? Vertical multiplication is the best method here. So we shall have 260 times 3. 260 times 3. 3 times 0, we are getting 0. 3 times 6, we are getting 18. Write 8, we got 1. 3 times 2, we get 6. 6 times 1, 6 plus 1, we are getting 7. Therefore, our answer is going to be, wait a minute. This time is 2. That boy doesn't want to remind me. No, should be always keep. Always be keen. So that we don't take mistakes. We are multiplying by 2, not by 3. So 2 times 0, we are getting a 0. 2 times 6, we are getting 12. Carry 1. 2 times 2, we get 4. 4 plus 1, we get 5. Therefore, we are getting our answer as 520 kilograms. Now, is it true that we have reduced? Yes. From 780 to 500. I think we have seen how personally I have enjoyed this one because it's very simple. But even if I child can be taught this one and the child understand. Thank you so much for being very good learners. I'm going to give you an activity. Please sit down, do the work very well, so that next time when I come, I'll be able to add. By the way, I'm going to give you a topical test at the end of this topic. So whichever lesson they come here to teach, please pay attention, listen, and understand this content. Thank you very much for being good learners, good viewers. Have a nice day.